All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Kelly Filomeno. I'm a $1 million senior sales director with Mary Kay. My team and I completed our first million in 2020. What a year. And that just goes to prove that anything is possible. And I just want to congratulate everyone that's on tonight. We were sharing how many total bookings we all had in the chat. And right now, let's see, Lala's coming in as our winner with 18. We also have coming in behind her Jen with 12. This is super exciting. So, as we get started tonight, I want to share with you a little bit about what I'm going to be maybe introducing you to. Maybe some of you have already caught on to this, or maybe some of you are introducing, getting to hear this for the first time. But I actually I'm going to take you back a little bit. January 2025, the beginning of this year. Can you believe it's October already? Oh my goodness. But the beginning of this year, I just felt like my business needed a spark. Anyone feel like their business needs a spark? Okay. And I love to see faces. Jill's even got her hand up. Okay. So if you can turn your camera on, I would love to be able to see your pretty face. So yeah, I just felt like my business needed a spark. And I also felt like I needed something that would help to spark my unit as well too. And we have been so familiar with all the different styles of appointments that we have been doing up to this. I mean, we have mastered the spa facial. I know many of you are doing that with a miracle set and a choice of a gel mask or a charcoal mask. We were doing makeovers, we were doing just basic skincare appointments, but I just felt like there was an entire market out there that we were missing. And I just thought, what could we innovate to share? And, we've heard about this trend, the glass skin, trend that's going on. It's pretty viral out there. And I just thought, wow, I don't know if I'm creating glass skin, but what I'm creating in my bathroom week after week, what I feel at my age is truly giving my skin a glow. And what I decided to put together was a new style of appointment called a glow facial. And my hope today is that this is an idea that blesses your business and loads your date book. So without further ado, we're going to get started with everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today. It is going to be available, and maybe somebody could type it in the chat in case anyone's not familiar with it. It's Pajama Graphics, just like it sounds, pajamagraphics.com/glow. So if someone wants to type that in the chat for me, that will be helpful so everyone can see that. Pajamagraphics.com/glow. Every single piece of information, scripts, the flip chart I created, I mean, you name it, it's in there. Okay. So everything is available for you, and you'll have access to that immediately. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through step by step and just kind of explain each piece of this new style. Thank you, Veronica. I knew I could count on you. This new style of appointment. So, first of all, we're going to go through 10 different steps together today. So, for those of you that like to take notes, there's 10 different steps that I'm going to go through. Of course, this is recorded, so you can always go back and recap anything. I do tend to talk a little fast. I'm from Northeast part of the country in Pennsylvania here. But we're going to get started with the glow facial, and I'm going to introduce to you the what and the why. And what I want to share with you is what it is and how it originated. So, like I shared, this was something I was doing in my bathroom. So, I don't know what skincare you use. Mary Kay has so many of them, and I feel like at every different, stage or decade of our life, we might be using a different skincare regimen, or maybe just what our skin particularly needs right now. And remember that that's what our customers want as well too. So we have the repair set. Some of us like to joke and call it Botox in a box. But this right here, 9 years ago in my mid 30s is when I decided to upgrade my skincare regimen. I am a bit of a Mary Kay experiment, meaning that I've never used anything else but Mary Kay. Of course, because my mom is Senior National Sales Director Emeritus Sandy Valerio. So I grew up with this product. It's the only thing I ever use to wash my face, and it just works. So there was no reason to stray. So I upgraded to this in my mid 30s, and I absolutely love the benefits and the results. And I was a little hesitant at first because at the time I was a bit of a combination kind of girl. And I thought, ooh, I think this is more for drier skin, but my skin adapted to it and I absolutely love it. What I also did is for my exfoliator, I love me some Microderm, don't get me wrong, but I really love the benefits of the Revealing Radiance Glycolic Peel. So the peel is my preferred method of exfoliation, and I use that twice a week. Okay, so this is the regimen for my bathroom that I just decided to train my team on and then also train all of our customers on so that they could get these great results too. So when I use my repair set twice a week, what I do is after I cleanse, I put on my peel. I leave that on for 10, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then I go ahead and remove that. And here's the special part. Immediately afterwards, I put on my moisture renewal gel mask. So I'm doing deep exfoliation and supreme hydration. And my skin has never felt so good and it just has a glow. So if you're not getting compliments on your skin, I'm going to encourage you to give this treatment a try just so that you can take away all the dead, dull skin cells, hydrate what's underneath, and just allow your skin to glow. You'll be attracting customers for sure. But with that regimen, I did this twice a week, and then I just followed up with my Mary Kay Time Wise Repair skincare regimen. You can do this in the morning, you can do this at night. It's totally up to you. So, with that being said, that's where it originated, and I just got super excited about sharing this with everyone that I knew. And I was shocked to find out that not many people were using the products this way. Give me a wave if you've tried this. Give me a wave if you've tried this. You've been using it this way. Okay. I've got a lot of Glow Facial friends on here, and I love that. And you know the results. So that gets you even more excited to share this with your customers. So, the second thing that I want to share with you is how to get your starter kit ready. So, we're going to switch over to our slideshow right here. I'm just hoping and praying this all works, and it is. Okay, fantastic. So this is what we're going to go over today. I'll go step by step. For in-person appointments, I wanted this to be something very easy to share with my new consultants and also to train my team on as well too. So this is very duplicatable. So it'll be easy for you to learn and easy for you to share with your new team members as well too. Now for our in-person appointments, because we do this both ways, in-person and virtual, I think it's incredible that we have that choice. 26 years in Mary Kay, obviously I worked most of my business in person and I was leaving out all of the people that I couldn't physically drive to. So this has just completely expanded my business, being able to work it both ways. So you can do this in person, you can do this virtual, or you can do this both ways like I do. So with your starter kit, here's a few things you want to get ready. Like I showed you earlier, you definitely want to have a demo repair set. And if you noticed, I left it in the box. If the packaging is that pretty, why remove it? Okay, leave it in the box. It's all lined up in order of application and it's beautiful to display on your table or to hold up and show at your virtual appointments. You're also going to need to add to your starter kit a glycolic peel and a gel mask if it isn't already in there. The other thing is I created these tray inserts and notice that the ones on the left are pink and the ones on the bottom right are a shade of lavender. Well, I'm sure you guys can probably already guess. The ones that are a shade of lavender, those are actually designed to use the repair set. But you see, when we introduced this, I had some of my consultants say, well, I think the idea of adding the peel and the gel mask to a miracle set facial would be a glow facial and, just as fun as well too. And I thought, yeah, let's not leave anybody out. So on the pink version, the top left, this is just going to show you where to put the miracle set products. Now, if you're smart, you'll print these back to back so that when you have someone using repair, you have it on the lavender side. And then if someone's using the miracle set, you just flip it over in their tray and you have it on the back side. So those will be available for you as well. Also, I created set sheets, which we'll get to at the very end. So there's different set sheets for this that just pertain to the products that we're using. And then I also created for in-person a separate survey. So it's just a half sheet of paper, and I'll show you that in just a moment. On one side, it's going to have your referral game, and we call that the beauty of friendship. And then on the other side, it's going to have the power of pink, which is the way that we will be sharing the business opportunities. So if you have something that works for you, stick with it, but this is just what we've been using. And then also, I do want to give you a little tip. We laminated our tray inserts and our set sheets so that we only have to make copies once and we use them over and over again and just wipe it off with a Clorox cleanup wipe if anything seems to get onto it. Now, to give it a little bit of flair, because I do believe that we want to make this experience feel extra special, I would encourage you to invest in some spa headbands. Okay, so get the cute ones, not the cheap ones. Amazon has very reasonable ones as well too, but get some spa headbands because your guests are definitely going to want to have their hair pulled back. And then also, I like to include mask applicators because no one wants a messy manicure. Okay, so your mask applicators you can disinfect between appointments, and of course, when they try it, they buy it. So it's something that your customers may not have known about until you offer it in this in-person style of appointment. Now, we're going to get to our third point right now, and we're going to go to the next slide. And this is going to share with you the virtual sample pack, okay? The virtual appointment. So, in our sample pack since 2020, I have found the most cost-effective way in order to share these with as many people as possible. And trust me, I'm sure I'm not the only one. We've tried them every which way. We've mailed lookbooks with them. It's a little bit more expensive. So, I'm going to show you the most cost-effective way. So, the first thing is that you want to get a letter-sized envelope. Of course, you can buy those on bulk in bulk on a place like Amazon. And then I also chose mine to be pink because I wanted it to be something that stood out in the mail. And I just let my guests know, let me know when your pink envelope arrives. Also, I learned the hard way. So let me just share with you my experience. Get the ones that you don't have to lick to seal. Okay, get the ones that you don't have to lick to seal. 30 of these per month do not taste good. They have the ones where you pull off the strip and you just seal it. Okay, so that's the first piece. That's the envelope. Next, you're going to go ahead and there's a virtual glow facial set sheet. It's a little bit different than the one that we use for our in-person appointments. And the reason is because on one side is the set sheet and on the flip side is their referral game, half the sheet, and then the other half of the sheet is the business opportunity survey. Okay, so those are just a little bit different. You want to print them double-sided color, tri-fold them, and put those in here as well. Then, of course, as you see at the bottom there, it's a skincare sample, time-wise or repair. You decide. And then also the Revealing Radiance Glycolic Peel sample, the Moisture Renewal Gel Mask sample, and you can fit all of this in an envelope. And I would suggest adding your business card in there for a 2-ounce stamp. You'll have to go to your post office or a non-machinable stamp. So that is the most cost-effective way that we have found to be able to share this information. Okay, so next we are going to go to what to say. And of course, all of these are provided for you, so you don't have to write down really fast. You can just refer to the link that I gave you in the beginning of the video, and you can go ahead and just copy and paste this into your notes, make it your own. But what I will tell you is this is a script that works. Okay, so if it's not broke, don't fix it, is what I told my team. So with this right here, this is booking for virtual. So the only thing that you would want to do is maybe change this if you're going to be doing it in person with just a few little tweaks. Okay, one of the things, if you look at the bottom paragraph, is that at the last sentence it says, would this date and time or this date and time work better for you? When we introduced this, we decided to pick 2 virtual dates. They were actually 2 dates within the same week. Okay, one was on a Thursday night, one was on a Saturday morning, and we asked the guests to choose what time worked best for them, and that seemed to work really well. Now, if you choose to do that differently, go for it. But I just want to let you know that as a group, this just seemed to work really well, because you might be thinking, why does she have with this date and time or this date and time? But it just goes back to what Mary Kay taught us in the correct booking approach. Okay, so this was our booking script that we used, and then when we mailed the envelope, of course, the next thing, number 5, is coaching. Okay, so number 4 was coaching, number 4 was booking, number 5 is coaching. Okay, so with coaching, of course, this is all done for a virtual event, so you would just go ahead and tweak it if you were doing this in person. But this is just exactly what your guest will need to prepare. So we call this our prep list, which we have found has been super helpful. you'll get this image in the link and you can just save it to your phone. And this is what you're going to do. First, you're going to text her and make sure that her pink envelope arrived. Okay. So once she replies yes, then you're going to go ahead and send her the next text, and you're going to send her a picture of the prep list so that she knows how to prepare for her glow facial. And then I also send a text the day of as another reminder. Okay. And like to, have a little bit of a conversation in between, especially if it's, up to 7 days out. And then of course, I ask her if she would like a reminder. Okay. And then I just set an alarm in my phone an hour before the event to make sure that I send her reminder. Now notice that I put Zoom link in parentheses. Okay. If you're doing this virtually, it's very helpful to be able to have the exact link that you can just copy and paste into a text so she can just touch that and be live on Zoom with you. I also, in the last text, just in case she has any computer difficulty or if the link for any reason didn't copyright, I do give the Zoom ID as well too. And just remind her not to forget a pen to fill out her surveys and of course a wet washcloth and her packet. That way she has everything ready to go. Okay, so we do give prizes at these events. Okay, so when we do them in person and when we do them virtually, and I'm sure you probably used to that. So whether you're playing a ticket game or, whether you're asking for responses virtually, okay, there'll be an opportunity to have a prize. So we usually use tickets in person. And then when we're on screen, it's always helpful to maybe partner up with someone else so that someone can work the chat and get all the names and add them to a wheel. And you could just use the Wheel of Names site to go ahead and add them on there and then spin the wheel at the end to find the winner. So makes it just a little bit more interactive and of course a lot more fun. Okay, so this right here is the beginning of what we've created as far as a flip chart. So I grew up in the flip chart realm. Give us a wave if you grew up with a flip chart. 26 years in, that's how we learned. And we still have it today. There was a time when it went away, but we're very grateful that it's back today. But for this type of appointment, we do not have information to go through, and I wanted to make this seamless. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of explain the glow facial procedure, and these you would just print out in color, and I just add them into a 1-inch binder that I'll go ahead and show you at the very end. And I just have those clear plastic slip covers, or you can just, hole punch it and put it in there just as is. So the idea is just like Mary Kay's flip chart, that the guests are seeing the pictures while you're reading the script. And yes, although I wrote this script, I still read it because it's important for the people in front of you to be able to see that what you do is easy to learn. Okay, so that's what we're doing with that. So of course we get to introducing everyone to Mary Kay. We're in the introduction part of the flip chart. And of course, we're so proud to share this information with them. We talk a little bit about Mary Kay and of course her grandson who runs the company today. And then we get right into the oil-free eye makeup remover and the micellar water. Now, virtually, of course, you're showing these, so it's more show and tell. And in person, the guests actually get to try them. And then I think before and after pictures are worth 1,000 words. Okay, so before and after pictures are so important. You'll see these sprinkled throughout, and they've been super helpful in just really showing our guests and everyone trying it the results that you can expect from this incredible advanced skincare regimen. So we talk about the Voluform set, and we get right to it with the cleanser, more before and afters for you there. Then this cracks me up. We had to put this on screen because do you all remember this from Mrs. Doubtfire? It makes me laugh because when you put too much repair cleanser on, this is exactly what it looks like. So we kind of, lighten up the crowd a little bit with this one, which is so funny. And then we go right into, after we remove that, putting on our first treatment, okay? Now, remember, we're doing 2 treatments during this, and each treatment needs to stay on for about 10 minutes, and the total length of this entire appointment, once you get it down, is about a 45-minute session, okay? Not including individual closes. So while they have their treatment on, this is where we get to the beauty of friendship, okay? And the beauty of friendship, it's kind of like flipping over the back of your profile card, so if you want to do it that way, it's completely up to you. But this just allows them to give the gift of this type of luxurious pampering experience, and they can nominate as many of their friends as they want to. I don't tell them a certain number. I just let them know everyone that has five gets an extra entry in our drawing, whether it's a ticket or they get added to the wheel. So that, is exciting because if you have five guests there and they give you five referrals, of course, you've got 25 new people to contact to share this glow facial experience with. And we have been overwhelmed with the amount of referrals because they're seeing and feeling the results as quickly as right after, we put the peel on and they're already noticing how great the product regimen is. So this is for you to have names and cell numbers, and all the instructions are in the flip chart for that. Then as soon as we get done with that, we take off the peel and we immediately put on the moisture renewal gel mask. That's that Supreme Hydration. And then we leave that on for 10 minutes, which of course leads me to my next slide, is where we're going to go over what we call the power of pink. And way back in the day, Mary Kay, when I was learning how to share the opportunity, Mrs. Cab is how I learned. And those stand for six different words that represent what the Mary Kay business opportunity offers. And I strayed away from it for a little while. And just this past year, we've gone back to it. And, I'm very much so impressed that it was relevant back then and it's relevant today. So this is a piece that we added back in, and all we do is go through each word. And I'll get to that in just a second. And then, of course, the middle goes over the six qualities and they check the boxes. So at the top, they write the word as we're going through it, and then I put a heart next to the one that means the most to them. And then we go through the six qualities, okay, and they check the boxes that apply to them. And then at the very end, you'll see it through the slides. We do ask them what their decision would be. And then, of course, if they were to start, which option would they choose? Okay, so that's how the flyer works. Now, when we're doing this virtually, we do have a slide to support it. So there's a lot of visual that goes on throughout this. So these are the reasons why women start a Mary Kay business. And you can just simply read what's in each one of the box. The first one is money. You earn 50% of what you sell, or you can elaborate and share with them it's the highest direct sales commission in America. Now, I know that many of you are familiar with these, and maybe you're learning it for the first time if you're newer, but the one that we changed was C. And that's because cars now are available at the sales director position. So we also added in community because we are in a day and age where that is what people are craving. Okay. So that just is the only switch that we made to Mrs. Cab just to make it more up with the times today. And then as you go through those, they put a heart next to the one that means the most to them. I always like them to ask which one they put a heart next to and why. And what it does is it really helps to open the discussion of how a Mary Kay business could be for each and every single guest, whether it's in the chat or whether it's in person. And of course, in person, a lot of times I like them to add, if they say, you know what, it's definitely for the advancement. I'm like, okay, well, you know what, Stephanie, tell me more about that. Why is the advancement important to you? Okay, so that opens up a whole new conversation. Now, these are the six qualities, and here's why I added them. Maybe you already do this when you're sharing. And if you don't, it actually overcomes every objection that most women have. So first we say the six reasons why, and then we share the six qualities that make up a successful beauty consultant. Okay, so first, busy. How many times have we shared and women say, I'm too busy, I don't think this is for me? Well, we let them know that we actually look for busy women because busy women get things done. And then it goes through those who need extra money, not the sales type, and then of course don't know a lot of people, the sleeping giant, and family oriented. So that's the middle part of the survey, and they're checking the boxes. And I always like to ask, who had three? Who had all six? Okay, so I know who my audience is. And then, of course, we let them know what it takes to get started for as little as 35 with an e-start, or add on a pro kit for 90. So there's the two different options. And then we ask them which option they would choose. Okay, so that completes the survey. And at this time, it is time to take off the gel mask. So they have now cleansed, deep exfoliation, supreme hydration, and it's time to get on with the rest of our volume repair regimen. So at this next part right here, of course, they're going to put on their lifting serum, and then they can choose to either put on the day cream if it's a daytime appointment, or if it's an evening appointment, you could either even switch out for the night cream. Totally up to you. Okay, next, of course, another before and after is the night cream, which we talk about. So whichever one, everything's in there, all the product knowledge and information to share. So whatever one you decide, that's the one you share, and then you talk about the other one that they could be using either, later on tonight or tomorrow morning. And then we add the eye cream and we basically wrap up. Now, when I am in person and I'm doing an appointment, I do like to use the day cream and add on the foundation primer and the CC cream. I think most people are amazed how amazing foundation looks and how much they love the way that it looks when it's used with a proper skincare regimen. So that's always a great extra to add in there as well too, and just show them how extra gorgeous that glow is that they have just created. So at this point right now, of course, we have a slide for that as well too, with all the product knowledge information. And then we get to the end. So it's a pretty quick appointment, although we just did two 10-minute treatments. And here right now, these are what the set sheet looks like. These are the Glow Facial Specials. And you'll notice there's more repair options on here, maybe than the set sheet that you might already be using. But when I go through this, I always have my roll-up bag handy so that I can romance that bag and show all the different which ways that you could use it and while you have to have it. And with the Platinum Bundle, that's the ultimate repair set. So that's, not only the repair set in the box, but it's also the peel and the deep wrinkle filler. So you're going to want to share a little bit about that as well too. It has the price. And when I share this, I don't use the dollar word. I say it's $3.43. And with this one, you're going to get the roll-up bag as a free gift, and you'll get to choose 3 half-price items from the Glow Bar at the bottom. So if you look to the bottom of the page, this is the Glow Bar. And what I did is I put together a lot of products that we would either use or would go along great with your Glow Facial. Okay, so and then at the right, of course, is the repair set for $2.25. With this, you get the roll-up bag and 2 half-price items. And then, of course, if they're using the Miracle set, you've got 2 different bundles available for them as well too. Now, if for any reason, because I know this happens to me all the time, I'll have a party and then, of course, one of the guests of the hostess will book a party in like a week or two. Okay, so the hostess usually comes, but she's already got all of her skincare and doesn't need to reorder. Well, there's still a special for her. And at the bottom there, you can, at the Glow Bar, buy any 2 Glow Bar items and get one of equal or lesser value at half price. Okay, so we like to call it the pick and choose. So buy 2, get the third of equal or lesser value at half price. And of course, the free gift for everyone is the Mary Kay Skin Analyzer app that is pictured in the bottom right-hand corner. So they can go ahead and scan their skin and check that out and then share their results with you as well too. So we like to mention that as well. Now, at the end of our appointment, it's just like any other. We do our giveaway. And then, of course, at this time, it is actually where we break for individual closes. Now, if you're on Zoom or doing this virtually, you can go ahead and choose to call your guests afterwards. If you like to do breakout rooms, it's completely up to you. Of course, in person, we tend to do things where we head off to the side with our guests one by one as we ask her the 4 closing questions to close out the appointment. So that is from start to finish the Glow Facial session. And what I love is that if you know how to do a skincare appointment, the basics, okay? All you would need to do is just adapt a different skincare regimen and different supplements, and now you have made it a completely new experience. And the best part is that every single contact you have is now a new contact again. So I know I'm probably not the only one that from time to time looks at my contact list and goes, gosh, if I could just have 50 new contacts, I could do all the things. And if that is what you're feeling right now, I hope that this just gives you that aha, now all I have to do is pick up my cell phone and go from A to Z and make a master contact list and then go through my social platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and go through all of the contacts you have on there that you can private message or direct message and get in touch with them as well too, which gives you a lot more people, which gives you a lot more confidence to start asking. And of course, you might be thinking, well, how do we track this? Well, it's probably the way that you've been tracking all of your bookings since I'm talking to the winner's circle right now. And that's by using our bubble sheets. So all you want to do is grab a bubble sheet and start writing all the names down, start doing the work, getting into action, okay? And just inviting them to experience this new Glow Facial luxurious pampering treatment. And you know that every single bubble sheet generally will yield about 10 new bookings, which means that you will forever be a member of the winner circles here every single month as a part of this group, being able to learn from $1 million achievers in our company. So as I wrap, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I'd love